Section 1 of Aaron Trow by Anthony Trollope. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Aaron Trow by Anthony Trollope. Section 1. I would wish to declare at the beginning of this story that I shall never regard that cluster of islets which we call Bermuda as the fortunate islands of the ancients. Do not let professional geographers take me up and say that no one has so accounted them, and that the ancients have never been supposed to have gotten themselves so far westward. What I mean to assert is this, that had any ancient been carried thither by enterprise or stress of weather, he would not have given those islands so good a name. That the Neapolitan sailors of King Alonso should have been wrecked here, I consider to be more likely. The vexed Bermuths is a good name for them. There is no getting in or out of them without the greatest difficulty, and a patient, slow navigation, which is very heart-rending. That Caliban should have lived here I can imagine. That Ariel would have been sick of the place is certain, and that Governor Prospero should have been willing to abandon his governorship I conceive to have been only natural. When one regards the present state of the place, one is tempted to doubt whether any of the governors have been conjurers since his days. Bermuda, as all the world knows, is a British colony at which we maintain a convict establishment. Most of our outlying convict establishments have been sent back upon our hands from our colonies, but here one is still maintained. There was also in the islands a strong military fortress, though not a fortress looking magnificent to the eyes of civilians as do Malta and Gibraltar. There are also here some 6,000 white people and some 6,000 black people, eating, drinking, sleeping, and dying. The convict establishment is the most notable feature of Bermuda to a stranger, but it does not seem to attract much attention from the regular inhabitants of the place. There is no intercourse between the prisoners and the Bermudians. The convicts are rarely seen by them, and the convict islands are rarely visited. As to the prisoners themselves, of course it is not open to them, or should not be open to them, to have intercourse with any but the prison authorities. There have, however, been instances in which convicts have escaped from their confinement, and made their way out among the islands. Poor wretches! As a rule, there is but little chance for any that can so escape. The whole length of the cluster is but 20 miles, and the breadth is under 4. The prisoners are, of course, white men, and the lower orders of Bermuda, among whom alone could a renegade have any chance of hiding himself, are all negroes, so that such a one would be known at once. Their clothes are all marked. Their only chance of permanent escape would be in the hold of an American ship. But what captain of an American or other ship would willingly encumber himself with an escaped convict? But nevertheless men have escaped, and in one instance, I believe, a convict got away, so that of him no farther tidings were ever heard. For the truth of the following tale I will not by any means vouch. If one were to inquire on the spot, one might probably find that the ladies all believe it, and the old men; that all the young men know exactly how much of it is false and how much true; and that the steady, middle-aged, well-to-do islanders are quite convinced that it is romance from beginning to end. My readers may range themselves with the ladies, the young men, or the steady, well-to-do, middle-aged islanders, as they please. Some years ago, soon after the prison was first established on its present footing, 3 men did escape from it, and among them a certain notorious prisoner named Aaron Trow. Trow's antecedents in England had not been so villainously bad as those of many of his fellow convicts, though the one offence for which he was punished had been of a deep dye. He had shed man's blood. At a period of great distress in a manufacturing town, he had led men on to riot, and with his own hand had slain the first constable who had endeavoured to do his duty against him. There had been courage in the doing of the deed, and probably no malice, but the deed, let its moral blackness have been what it might, had sent him to Bermuda, with a sentence against him of penal servitude for life. Had he been amenable to prison discipline, even then, with such a sentence against him as that, he might have won his way back, after the lapse of years, to the children, and perhaps to the wife, that he had left behind him. But he was amenable to no rules, to no discipline, His heart was sore to death.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?